What's good, everybody? MidMorningSol here, and back again with another part of the playthrough. Usually, y'all, I would play in 3 to 4 hour blocks. That's how I did with Nicola's route. But, my schedule is getting crazy, especially towards the end of the month. And now I'm playing in 1 hour chunks, or 1 to 2 hour chunks. So, last we left off, we were just starting chapter 6. And so, the biggest plot point this far is we made it to Bishop Joseph von Roseberg's presence, and we are under his guidance. Well, I say we, but Lily. I don't know what's going to happen to Orlok, so hopefully Orlok can stay with us. He got banged up pretty bad as he ran into the Visconti. Gil got the heads up from some big mouth motherfuckers that led him to where Orlok would pop out. So he was injured as a result. Lily successfully removed the bullet fragment and bandaged him up. And then, they were just reminiscing over the couple days that Orlok spent to get back up to close to square one. They had a little bit of tender moment, which was cute. I mean, this route is kind of sad, y'all, so far. And I don't know what kind of ending I'm going to get, but I hope it's going to be good. I can only hope. But here we are, chapter 6. I'm leaning like there's supposed to be 8 chapters, so we're pretty close to the end, y'all. So join me as we delve further into young Orlok's story. And it's interesting that Orlok's chapters are in German. After meeting with Bishop Roseberg, we were led to another room in the hotel. I had never stayed here before. The room was incredibly beautiful, but you don't feel good staying here? That wasn't my concern at the moment. With me and Orlok alone in the room, I decided to ask him for information. Well, at least he gets to stay with us, I hope. Orlok, do you mind telling me all you know about Bishop Roseberg?
どうして？何か気になる?
Oh yeah, I had to turn the TV up because Orlok talks so freaking soft. So I'm worried that I'm cutting him off when I have the TV up higher. But I hope I don't get that feedback in my mic. I saw how much you respect and trust Bishop Roseberg, so I wanted to know more about him. I recall you told me how you met him before, but what happened after that? Did you live with him?
芸家は教国府の教国儀典室と呼ばれる組織で儀典長を務めてる。
Magisterium. Ooh, I never heard that term before. The Magisterium? Okay. He's gonna tell us what that is.
教国の執行する典礼とか儀式とかそういうものの準備をするための部署。
Oh. That sounds familiar.
俺もそこに所属してる。
Wow. Really? A disciple in a teaching ministry? Seeing me deep in thought, Orlok nodded and went on to explain further.
以前、使徒の役目について聞かれたとき、俺は曖昧に答えたけど、あなたになら詳しく話してもいいと思う。
Okay.
儀典室には教国の敵を排除するための人間がいる。それが使徒。
Eliminate.
あ、神の教えに反してるように聞こえるかもしれないけど、違う。あくまで神の教えを守るため、強国の主は様々な国から狙われてる。
Orlok paused and thought for a while.
あなたも知ってると思うけど、例えば、かつてイタリア王国は強国領を大幅に奪い、強国の権威を削いだことがある。その時、使徒がいなければ、強国の要人の多くは暗殺されてた。
That's sad to hear, but I suppose such a thing would not have been impossible. The church was blessed with the faith of the masses, so to prevent the church from becoming a threat, many of those in power have taken drastic measures against well-known believers. Other countries would certainly have much to gain in doing so.
使徒は使わされたものという意味。重要な役割を果たす宣教者に与えられた名誉ある任務。神の教えのため、人々を救うため、血を浴びることを選んだ存在。
Hearing his words reminded me of when he was fighting the mafia.
俺は人を殺してる。きっと地獄に落ちる。それでも俺が切り開いた先に誰かの平和が待ってるんなら、俺は嬉しい。そのために神に身を捧げたいと思う。
That must be Orlok's faith.
陛下は俺を強国で使徒にするべく育ててくれた。
Orlok seemed to be recalling those days.
陛下はずっと親のいない俺の後見人になってくれてた。
So I guess his dad was probably lost as well, like way early.
神の尊さ、信仰の素晴らしさを俺に教えてくれたのも陛下だった。陛下のおかげで今の俺がある。
I suppose Bishop Roseberg must be what Sister Sophia is to me, a special person.
そうかもしれない。
He nodded with a smile on his face. It made it difficult for me to share my doubts about Bishop Roseberg. Even if I told him, I doubt he'd listen to me, but Orlok, I hope you won't take what I say in the wrong way. I actually don't trust Bishop Roseberg.
Huh?
And I feel like there's some ulterior motive behind Bishop Roseberg's words. I think he may be lying. Remember what you said to me back then? It was the day we arrived at the hideout. I recalled the words he said as we warmed ourselves underneath the blanket.
俺は幸せというもの自体よくわからないけど、少なくとも自分のことを幸せだと思ったことはなかった。もちろん不幸せだと思ったこともないけど、俺のことを拾ってくれる人がいた。だから俺は恵まれてる。
was then I wanted to tell him. Oh, lordy, y'all. Okay, hold on. Hold up. I'm actually going to save here. I mean, this is the first choice. Could he be using you? You deserve better. Could he be using you? Could he be using you? I mean, we know that because that's his role as a disciple and for the magisterium or whatever the hell you just said. So I would try to sympathize with him and say, you deserve better. You don't deserve to be used as someone's tool to be thrown away at the manipulator's own discretion. So that's what I'll go with. You deserve better. You deserve better. You should be more blessed.
もっと恵まれるって
As in being with me, my love. Do you remember when you said... do you remember when you told me that you were blessed back at the hideout? But...
あなたは違うって思ってる。
I'm making him upset. There are many children here who were raised in a loving family. But if you were assigned missions without a chance at feeling what happiness is... I recalled seeing Orlok smile when he was playing with the children at church. Yeah, he was pretty happy. Perhaps he didn't know back then that he was smiling. Come to think of it, he mentioned he couldn't smile like those kids. Thinking of his past gripped my heart even more strongly. Excuse me. You have the right to play, laugh, and eat good food. Don't you think you deserve better?
でも俺は
Orlok, don't fucking make me cry. After listening to my words, Orlok seemed dismayed. He slowly began to speak.
確かにリリーと出会ってからはいろんなことを知った。子供たちと遊ぶと疲れるし食事が楽しいってこととか、怪我をした時に誰かがそばにいてくれると痛みが和らぐとか、胸が温かくなるような時間を過ごせた。それは事実だと思う。
Orlok spoke slowly, as if recalling all that he had been through. He was tracing his past and connecting it to his actual feelings then. Back at the hideout, you told me that you felt joy and happiness like never before. You also said that you may not have the right to say that. True, he did say that.
リリー、本当はいけないのかもしれないけど、俺はあなたと出会ってからがこれまでの人生で一番楽しいし嬉しい。だって俺は任務なのにそんな風に思うのはいけないことだ。
You brought me to Roseburg. Isn't that your mission? Well, he says it's to protect me, and he swears himself to me, but we're not out of the home stretch just yet, but there's more to life than just fulfilling your mission, Orlok. Why not? I don't see why you have to force yourself to not feel things. People experience joy and happiness, and they express that in words.
でも俺は使徒だから任務は果たさなくちゃいけなくて。
Just because you're a disciple doesn't mean that you need to get rid of your emotions.
それ
You're telling me that Bishop Roseberg has given you such a life? If so, I can't trust him at all. Or after, what is it, after all? Oh, after all, yeah, sorry. Orlok's body was shaking, and he looked at me with trembling eyes. No.
俺はあなたのことは好きだし信じてるけど俺にとって芸家は恩人で誰より正しい人そう思ってる
I get that, you know, if someone saves your life, whatever, you owe them an immense gratitude, and you will probably never have the chance to pay him back in that same magnitude, but he does not own you. You are still your own person.
だから今あなたが言ったことをそのまま認めることはできない
The blind faith is something else. Orlok see, I can't read. Orlok gripped his chest as if he were in pain.
あなたの言葉を否定したいわけじゃない けど
No. Oh. After his apology, Orlok turned around and quickly left the room. Night fell, and I lay in bed with the lights off. I couldn't sleep. I looked up at the ceiling and sighed. I went too far. What right do I have to question their relationship in the first place? Yeah. I mean, it comes off bad, but, like, you're trying to look out for them. So, I mean, regret began to fill my heart, and I hoped that Orlok was okay. Still, I can't trust Bishop Roseberg. My distrust of him made me worry. My distrust of him made me more worried for Orlok. I continued to think through the night. Before I knew, duty. Uh-oh.
勘弁してもらいたいな。強国の要人など相手にしたくないんだが。
弱音を吐くなって。ロズベルグが本当に腐ってるなら叩き潰してやりたくもなるだろ。人の信仰心を利用して甘い汁をすするような人間、俺の美学に反する。
お前は意外と信心深いからな。
Do I need to bring out my thumbnail for one of those one of my earlier vids where all they say is pious? Yeah, I know y'all can say religious too. Faithful. Oh my god, get us the thesaurus, please.
ああ、それにな、ロズベルグはそもそもきな臭いんだよ。だいたい慰問だって名目で今この時期にブルローネを訪れてるが。どうせ本音じゃあの女とオルロックに接触しようって腹だろ。そっちが目的だ。
So well, we're already in his custody, so I mean, we're safe, aren't we? Sorry, I was checking to make sure the damn mic was on.
その推測には私も同意する。
That would suck if it wasn't on.
だったらさっさと動かねえとな。で、オリバーでも難しいのか、ロズベルグを探るのは。
やるだけはやる。だが峡谷絡みはガードが固い。向こうもなかなか尻尾は出さないだろう。
そこをなんとか頑張ってくれ。ロズベルグとラオシュの間に金の流れがあることは確実なんだ。
So he flat out lied to Elena and the old woman.
確かにかなりの額が動いているだろうが、ヤンの話ではラオシュはロズベルグから切り捨てられたとか。であればすでに痕跡は消されていると見た方がいい。
Oliver pushed his glasses up with a finger, then smiled.
しかし動いた金が大きければ大きいほど後の始末もそう簡単にはいかないものだ。必ず何か掴んでやる。だから少し待っていろ、ギルバート。くれぐれもおとなしくな。
ああ、お前も慎重に調べてくれよ。危険を感じたらすぐに報告しろ。
言われなくとも分かっている。任せろ。
Okay, Detective Oliver is on the scene. Oliver exited the lounge. I looked down at the newspaper in my hand. The living saint, Liliana Ardonado, was being lambasted on the front page.
無理もねえよな。聖女を信じた連中はこぞってラオシュに金をむしり取られたって話だ。
Yikes. Humans were dangerous where money was concerned. Should make a drinking game for how many times Pius shows up. All together. We'll all be dead. The pious elderly who had saved for their retirement were weeping in sorrow. The youth who had invested in the future were angry at being deceived. Yang would happily toy with the weak. The people will only be exploited further. No one believed what Yang said about the girl professing herself to be a holy woman. Huh? But even if Yang were just using her,
利用されてたなら罪はないってか。そんな話通るわけねえよな。
well, nobody is without sin, especially in like this time and modern times. So I mean, are you really one to judge, Mr. Mafia Boss? I needed to make sure that both Orlok and the girl paid dearly. Why do I have to pay? What did I do? Bruh. Oh yeah. Murder. Murder. I knew where Liliana Ardonado was from the intel I received from my soldiers stationed across town. But now was not the time to strike. Oh, excuse me. If not now, then when?
ビスコンティも仕留め損ねた相手だ。今は好機を待たなければ。
I needed to kill Orlok. It seemed he was guarding the Bishop Roseburg at one of the local hotels. I couldn't do anything against the church as it would only worsen our family's position. Rage came across my expression. I couldn't suppress my anger knowing that someone from the church was in contact with her.
彼女はファルツォーネと縁があるものだ。峡谷のものじゃない。
Okay, well, Dante doesn't want to kill us. He just wants us to be in his vicinity, which I don't know how that's gonna work. I told myself to stay calm.
オルロックを殺して彼女を取り戻す。それから手元に置けばいい。
Yikes.
もし抵抗するなら、その時は
Oh my-
殺せばいい。
Oh my god. Scary. Holding back a murderous rage, I continued to wait for the time to arrive. Probably when they're moving. Before I knew it, it was daylight.
おはよう。
Yep, yep,
朝
yep.
食を持ってきた。
Ah,
部屋の前にワゴンを置いておくから、好きな時に
Orlok,
食べて。
I can barely hear you sound. I can't hear what you're saying. Unable to say anything after what happened, all I could do was listen as his footsteps faded away. Our big mouth. My bad decision. Real talk. That was a bad decision, I guess. I felt so terrible about what I had done. I needed to apologize to him, but I still couldn't get myself to think straight. The whole day, I stayed inside my room thinking about Orlok. Still, I didn't know what to say to him. I stood in front of her room. All I had been doing was bringing meals to her room.
俺も今は彼女と顔を合わせるのがちょっと気まずい。
Which is why I wouldn't open the door. In the meanwhile, His Excellency was going out of town for his consolations. Yikes. He was accompanied by another bodyguard since my presence would be noticed. But I was relieved he didn't take me. I couldn't leave her here alone. I couldn't leave her alone here, excuse me.
お食事中失礼します。
構わん。それより報告を。
I knelt next to His Excellency and whispered,
状況に変化はないです。彼女はまだ部屋から出てきません。
そうか。
His Excellency wasn't saying a word. He must be worried about her.
きっと陛下が彼女の傷ついた心を癒してくれる。そうすれば彼女だってちゃんと陛下を信じてくれるはず。
I believed in him. All that he had said thus far had been corrected. It's true. Oh, Orlok. Gosh, you're blindly believing this dude. It had been 2 days since. It had been 2 days that Orlok hadn't opened the door to this room. He simply came by to leave meals in front of the door. I knew I should talk to him, but I couldn't muster the courage to do so. I hope his wounds are clean. I wonder if he changed his bandage. Bitch, you could have just opened the door and let him in just to do that. I'm not even sure if he's eating right. The more I thought about Orlok, the more worried I became. I recalled the days I spent with him back at the hideout. Damn, I keep yawning, y'all. Sorry. Orlok looks happy? Orlok, how does it taste?
これすごく好きな味だった。
That's good to know. I'll make it again next time.
ありがとう。
He didn't express himself much, but he seemed happy when something he liked was served. After the days I spent watching him eat, I could finally read when he was happy or not.
眠れない？
I'm just thinking about things.
大丈夫。
I'm trying not to fall
俺がい
asleep.
るから。何があってもあなたのこと絶対守るから。
Whenever I was with him, I felt calm. I knew I was safe those sleepless nights as long as I could feel his warmth beside me. Despite the dangers, the time we spent together at the hideout were precious to me. I want to see him. Suddenly, I realized what this pain gripping at my heart was. You finally found out you love him. Yeah, that too. It was loneliness from not being with Orlok. How long had he been so... How long had he been so important to me? The cause of my loneliness, the difficulty in seeing him, it was all my fault. I need to apologize to him.
リリー、食事。
No! Go! Sprint to the door! Sprint to the door! Open it! Ah! I opened the door and leapt outside. Orlok! Orlok turned around and looked at me with a surprised expression. I'm sorry, Orlok. I stopped myself. I shouldn't talk to him out in the open. Do you have a moment to talk? Orlok nodded at me a bit awkwardly. I let him in my room, then continued my apology. I'm sorry. I overstepped my bounds. I shouldn't have said those things back then.
あなたが何を伝えようとしたのか分かってるつもり。俺のために言ってくれたことも。だからありがとう。
Are you for real? Orlok thanked me, but I still had conflicting feelings about the situation. He still trusted Bishop Roseberg. That fact hadn't changed. But I'm glad I could break the ice with Orlok. After seeing him leave the room, I breathed a sigh of relief. It had been a while since I'd seen his face. That alone Never mind. I decided to go and get something to eat. I wondered why. The food tasted good. I knew that the food served at the hotel was both expensive and delicious.
だけどここに来てから料理の味なんてずっとわからなかったのに。
Was it because I met Lily?
よくわからないけどそんな気がする。
Lily was amazing. Aww.
でもやっぱりここの食事より隠れ家で彼女が作ってくれた料理の方がもっとずっとすごく美味しかった。
I wonder why. 'Cause she put love in the food.
俺は彼女と一緒にいるとそれだけですごく温かい気持ちになる。彼女と話せないと普段の調子が出なくてなんだか息が苦しくなる。
I wonder why.
リリーが聖なる存在だから みんなリリーと接するとこうなるのかな。
I thought for a while, but didn't get an answer.
あの時みたいにまた彼女と話したい。一緒にいたい。
I'm sorry if I keep making that annoying noise, but it's so cute. His Excellency returned late at night from his consolations. He called me to his room.
今日、私は新たな信託を受けた。それをお前に伝えよう。
それは素晴らしいです。ぜひ聞かせてください、陛下。
A new prophecy. I was sure it would help ease her soul. Or so I thought. Uh-oh.
前回の信託は不完全なものだったようだ。ああ、己の力不足が嘆かわしい。
そんなことありません。信託を授かる陛下は神の祝福が与えられた方です。
では、お前に信託の内容を明かそう。
はい。
His Excellency spoke in a calm voice.
神はリリアーナの死を望んでいる。
Bish, what? The death of Lily? What?
彼女がこのブルローネの不毛な争いを終焉に導くものだという神の声は。
Ruh-roh. I mean, once Orlok said, or so I thought, I knew it wasn't going to be something good. But this is somewhat expected. So he is touted between what he's grown up with in the church or what he wants. And, you know, trying to find his own self. Is he going to continue down the blind faith, or is he going to act on what he wants as a person?
つまり、平和は彼女の死によってなされるという未来を意味していたのだ。彼女が死ぬことで、ブルローネの人々は心を一つにすることができる。
I call bullshit, but whatever. I heard that story somewhere before.
この地で平和のために死ねと神は仰せになっているのかもしれん。
Well, Yang called it, I suppose. But I still don't like the bastard.
無垢な乙女が一人犠牲になれば人々の心は動くだろう。この町の状況を変えねばならんと思うはずだ。聖人の多くは死んで名を残してきた。その娘も神の身元に招かれているのかもしれんな。
I couldn't hide my confusion.
でも俺は彼女を護衛して。
そう。我々は彼女を保護した。それがこの町の現状をより悪化させてしまったのだ。彼女には神の身元に行ってもらうほかない。今の彼女はラオ州のせいで混乱の元凶とされてしまっている。だが彼女が死ねば 人々は気づくのだ。彼女はラオ州にただ利用されていただけだったと。そしてマフィアの支配に対する反発を抱き、強い自立心を得るだろう。
だけど
Look at this rat bastard smiling. Lily is to be with God. I couldn't seem to accept his prophecy.
どうした？
経過が俺を見てる。できないなんて失望される。
Orlok.
それはダメだ。
No.
嫌だ。だからいつもみたいに返事しないと。その通りですってうなずかないと。
お前の苦しみはわかる。どんな命でも尊いものだ。しかしこれは多くの民衆を救うために必要な犠牲だ。
Couldn't you? Then I'm willing to guess that. Well, no. I have a feeling this is the bad ending.
これまでのようにお前が人々を救わなくては。
His Excellency's words were fair. I had done all that he ordered until now. But I trusted in her. She was pure and full of warmth.
それは本当に神の望みで、人々を救うために必要なんですね。
もちろんそうだとも。
His Excellency nodded solemnly. Oh, shit. That alone brought a surprisingly serenity. Let me read that again. That alone brought a surprising serenity to my soul. Oh my lord. I breathed a sigh of relief after seeing the disciple leave the room.
幸い、私とラオ州が通じているなどという誤解は慰問の際に解けた。ラオ州がたとえ何を言おうと、大衆は私の言葉を信じるだろう。
This whole spectacle had been a bother. I couldn't believe they would violate our deal and disclose our connection.
所詮は異教と信じるべきではなかった。
But the Lao Shu could still be used. I suppose I could let them be for now. I may be losing a key, but it won't be a major obstacle in my plans. All is well, as long as I ultimately gain control over this land.
私の地位も名声も奴らに、いや、誰からも脅かされることがあってはならない。
Scum.
あの娘には私のために死んでもらわねば。
I stood in front of Lily's room.
頭が
Oops. Sorry. I hate because he talks so damn slow. It had been throbbing since I spoke with His Excellency's words. It felt like I had just been bludgeoned. This had never happened to me before, feeling so sick during a mission.
彼女が死んでみんながマフィアに反発する。そうすればこの町は平和になる。
この地で平和のために死ねと神は仰せになっているのかもしれん。無垢な乙女が一人犠牲になれば人々の心は動くだろう。この町の状況を変えねばならんと思うはずだ。
I recalled again what Yang said. His Excellency's words were the same.
彼女には何の罪もない。そんな彼女を犠牲に、本当に神がそんなことを望んでる。
The pain in my head was getting worse. I looked down at the palm of my hand.
俺がどう生きるべきか示してくれたのはいつも経過だった。だから経過を疑うということはこれまでの俺のすべてを否定すること。
When did I fall asleep? The sun had set already. I guess it's about time for Orlok to be arriving with my meal. I want to talk to Orlok, but I still wasn't sure of what to say. But saying anything would be better than keeping quiet like this. I was slowly stirring myself awake when the door opened without a knock. I saw a figure come through the doorway. Orlok? Orlok always knocked on the door. Seeing him enter like this was confusing me. He had a grave expression on his face.
リリー、答えてほしい。
You're scaring me. What? What's the matter? Something isn't right. I could feel a strange tension when Orlok spoke.
答えて。お願いだから。
Of course. I didn't know what was happening, but he seemed eased by my reply.
あなたは自分が犠牲になれば他の誰かが助かる。そんな時、
Oh my gosh.
誰かのために犠牲になれる。
What an odd question. Oh, yo. Shit. She does care about the people of Berlone. And she did move, like, I'm piecing her with Nicola's route, sort of, Lily, and then this one. She's a very selfless person, Lily. I wouldn't be lying if I told him I'm afraid of dying. But she did risk herself, and she also jumped in front of Nicola, so let's go with this one. If it were someone precious to me, I wouldn't want to die. I also wouldn't know for certain what I'd do until it happened, but if it were for someone precious to me, and if that were the only way. Orlok, Sister Sophia, Elena, and everyone at the church. Their faces flashed through my mind. Aww. Then I would offer myself as sacrifice to save them.
そうか。
Orlok stepped closer. Uh-oh. Is that the wrong answer?
あなたは ブルローネの町が、そこに住む人たちが
Orlok,
大切。
Orlok, don't do this. Well, yes.
だから
Oh no. Oh, please. Please, don't do this. Oh my god! Huh? What is... Oh, that was the wrong answer. Shit. Oh my god! Vivid red blood was gushing out of my neck. Blood. My neck. My back. I'm just kidding. Before I realized that I was on the floor, my strength rapidly leaving me. Orlok,
さようなら。
was all that shit at your hideaway for nothing? Oh my god, I'm getting bad ending after bad ending. That was the last I could make out from his lips. My consciousness drifted into darkness. Oh, you stone cold. Stone cold. Orlok. Damn your soul. Okay, that was a bad choice. Shit. Okay. Fuck. I tried to make it sentimental, and I got my neck gutted. So I'll go with the second choice. Damn it. I'm afraid of dying. I had no idea why Orlok was asking me such a question, but if my answer will help, then I'm afraid of dying. I wouldn't be able to decide right away, even if it was to save someone. He looked at me intently. I'm sorry. I know that's what I said. Let me read that again. I'm sorry. I know that what I said isn't what a true saint would say. But I'm just a normal person.
あなたは人間。
Which is what she was trying to push this entire time. So yeah, this was the right answer. Yes, I am. I also think that I could do more for everyone if I were to live.
生きていたらできること。
No matter how small, each good thing we do can greatly help someone in need.
生きて誰かのために役に立ちたい。
Yes, all I would hope for in return is a smile.
そうだ。笑ってもらえると嬉しい。
He mumbled as if in some kind of trance. Being alive means that I can meet those who are in need. In the same way that you've been there for people who need you, Orlok.
俺を必要とする人に。
Why, yes. Do you remember how happy the children were when you played with them? I chuckled, remembering Orlok smiling and playing with the children at the church.
そうか。
He was deep in thought. After a moment, Orlok looked at me again and sighed. Oh, I already gasped. Orlok brandished his dagger, pointing it at my neck. You're gonna kill me again? Why is he... Sweetheart, put the dagger down, please. But Orlok wasn't moving. It looked like he was confused. The tip of his dagger was shaking and too far away to cut me. He asked me another question.
もう一つ聞かせてほしい。
I'm scared. He's gonna kill me.
平和は何よりも尊いものだと思う。
What was Orlok trying to get at? I responded, no, not to the question, but just in general. Shit. If I say yes, he's probably gonna cut me. Because, oh yeah, you need to die in order for peace to be achieved. If I say no, this is some 5-brain, 5-head, reverse psychology shit. It's too late at night for me to be, like, putting myself in this conundrum. Shit. I'll say no. No. What? I said no. Yes, peace is precious and something that we should be working toward. But I think there's something more precious than peace. Happiness. Peace without happiness isn't true peace. You better preach, Lily. Please, Orlok, I'm not into this kink. Orlok looked surprised. I tried my best to speak as honestly as possible. If the only way of obtaining peace was forcing suffering onto others, then the peace obtained through their sacrifices wouldn't be peaceful at all.
犠牲で成り立つ平和。
Orlok, put the dagger away. I know it's not easy finding a way for everyone to be happy, but I don't think we should give up. No, my God. Please just put the knife away, or dagger, whatever. Put the dagger away. I saw tears starting to well up in Orlok's eyes. The tip of the dagger was still shaking, but no longer pointed at my neck. Orlok, sweetie, put the knife... the weapon! Put the weapon away! Oh.
できない。
Oh, gosh. If I was Liliana, my heart would be beating violently on my chest. Like, trying to burst through. Jeez Louise.
ごめん。俺はあなたを。
Was going to. Child, you did in one ending. It's okay. I mean, it was scary, but I'm fine, Orlok. I'm sure you had a good reason. I trusted in him. There was no way he would do something like this without a reason.
俺はこれまで使徒として人を殺めてきた。
Orlok slowly began speaking in a sullen voice that I'd never heard before.
そして今日はあなたを殺そうとした。
See, I knew something was up with him. Just the fact that he can go from one extreme to another, like be innocent and childlike, and then next thing you know, he's got a shank to your neck and he will kill you.
でもリリーだけは殺したくない。
Orlok.
俺はあなたを守りたいのに。
His words felt like his heart was screaming for help. What happened? Why were you trying to kill me? I forced myself to ask him for a reason. Orlok didn't say anything for a moment, but then he slowly uncovered the truth.
陛下があなたは死ぬべきだってそう言った。
I knew that motherfucker was foul.
それこそが信託の本当の意味だって。あなたの犠牲で町の人たちは目を覚ます。
Couldn't you just fake her death? Like, why does Roseburg need me dead? Like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you could fake deaths.
マフィアに反発して自立するようになる。それが神の意志だって。
It can't be.
俺は今まで陛下が絶対に正しい、そう信じてきた。陛下の言葉に従って務めを果たすことは神の望みを果たすことだって思ってた。それが人々のために、この世界のためになるって信じてた。
Orlok looked down at his open hands.
でも俺にはどうしてもあなたが死ぬべきだって思えなかった。
Orlok must be having the same doubts I had about Bishop Roseburg. But doubting Bishop Roseburg meant that he was rejecting the life he had lived up until now. Orlok probably doesn't know who to believe anymore. I could only imagine his suffering. But I wasn't able to give Orlok the answers he was looking for. Doing so would only make me do the same thing. Doing so would only make me do the same that Bishop Roseburg has done to him. Orlok, let me share my thoughts with you. It's wrong to take another person's life. It's something that can't be forgiven. But if the deed is done, one needs to atone for their sins.
人としての行いは俺の罪。必死に戦って何度も人を殺してきたのに、俺は間違ってた。俺が生きている意味はなかった。
Orlok, what you've done may have been wrong, and repentance won't bring them back from the dead. But there is a meaning for you to be alive. I don't mean to yawn like I'm bored or something. There's always a meaning to be alive. I appreciate what you've done for me, Orlok. Why, including killing you? I'm still alive because of you. That much I know is certain. Orlok looked at me with a blank stare. Your feelings are genuine and pure. You may have been in the wrong, but you sacrificed yourself in the name of God, haven't you? I took Orlok's hand and held it tightly. It's painful seeing you suffer like this. It's painful seeing you suffering like this. I'm not in pain just because you saved my life. I'm in pain because I love you. Please tell me it back. I had learned so much about Orlok from up close. I knew who he was. I couldn't just leave him alone. He was more than a regular person to me. He was someone with a pure heart who did his best to protect me with all his might. Soon after I realized who he was, I then wanted to protect him in return.
俺は何を信じればいいのかわからない。でも
I think I cut him off. Damn it, sorry. His eyes weren't as sullen anymore. They were alive with a powerful light.
あなたのことは信じられる。たとえあなたが聖なる存在ではないとしても、あなたのことなら俺は心から信じられる。
That's not saying I love you too. Come on. Orlok squeezed my hands in his.
ここにいるわけにはいかない。
Well, at least we're getting out of here.
俺があなたを殺さないなら、きっとゲイカは他の人間に命令する。
Well, that's not good. Holy shit. So you got the 3 mafia heads, and, well, the 3 mafia families coming after you. Now you got the church coming after you. Probably you're gonna have citizens come after you, but it's a lose-lose. We gotta get out of town, like, post-haste.
だからこの町を出るしかない。
Yeah. Huh?
ゲイカだけじゃない。ブルローネには敵が多すぎる。ここを離れるのが一番安全。
Yeah, I agree. Do we need to leave now?
今すぐじゃないときっと手遅れになる。
Can I say farewell to everyone? To Sister Sophia? I hesitantly asked if I could say farewell. He shook his head sadly. No, you gotta go. You got to go right now. Girl, your life is in danger. Go.
ごめん、できない。教会はきっとどの組織も監視してるから。俺はあなたを守りたい。だから危険と分かっていてそこに行くことはできない。
It pained me to hear that I couldn't say goodbye to everyone at the church, but Orlok is trying to save me. He turned his back on the person he most trusted just for me. I need to make a decision now. Okay, let's escape together. Orlok's expression softened, hearing my answer. He then held my hand firmly. We quickly made our way out of the room. Was there any place we could run to? I was certain the Mafia had soldiers looking for us out in the streets. Bishop Roseberg wouldn't let us get away so easily either. A pang of anxiety filled my heart. Even so, this is what we chose. A path that Orlok and I have chosen. We headed down a secluded alley to try to escape from the town. Orlok went ahead to see how things were. He returned with some bad news.
ここはダメだ。
What did you see?
どこの組織かわからないけど、すでに道が塞がれてる。
Orlok pointed in the direction we were headed. There was only one street leading out of Berlone. Of course there is. Shit.
森の中を突っ切ることは俺一人ならできなくない。だけどこの森には狼が出る。だからあ あなたを連れて行くのは難しい。
I heard news of tourists finding their way into the forest only to be killed by wolves.
それに森を通るなら今夜中にブルローネを出るのは難しくなる。
Is there any other way out?
別の道。港もおそらくマフィアが抑えてると思う。俺が甘かった。今この街を出るのは思ってた以上に難しい。
How about we head back to the hideout?
いや、ゲイカはあの場所を知ってる。よくない。
Right. We were out of options. After thinking a while, Orlok made a reluctant suggestion.
ストラノに行こう。あそこなら身を隠しやすい。
Strano. I don't know where that is. Strano?
そう。しばらくそこに身を隠して時期を見てブルローネを出る。ストラノは大きさの割に人口が多い。うまく紛れ込めば追っ手の目をごまかせるかも。治安は良くないかもしれないけど大丈夫。俺が守るから。
Orlok assured me that it would be okay. I'm not worried, Orlok. I know you'll protect me. Orlok quickly looked away, seeing my smile. Huh? While I wondered to myself about Orlok, we began to head towards Strano. Once there, we managed to find an abandoned home to take shelter for now. We cleaned the place up, dusting the rooms and gathering together what we needed. It wasn't in the best condition, but I was sure life here would be much better for Orlok. Oh, how convenient. There's a fucking sofa there. I'm sure I had some salted cod left over. We even have potatoes. I lit the fire under the pot as I thought of what could I make our ingredient. I lit the fire under the pot as I thought of what could I make with our ingredients. Strano was very expensive when it came to food. I needed to use every ounce carefully. Making meals with the little resources we had made it a challenge to prepare daily meals. The oven you fixed is working fine now. Thank you, Orlok.
よかった。他に欲しい道具とかある？
No, we have all the cooking utensils and tableware we need.
水は必要なら汲んでくる。
After dinner should be fine. Oh. I looked into the water jug. It was practically empty.
先に汲んでくる。
No. Orlok, wait. I'll go with you. We can carry more water back so that we don't run out so quickly.
わかった。
Okay. We stepped outside our ramshackled home.
あれ？あんたなんでここに？
Oh my. A familiar young boy called out to me from behind. It was the young boy I met back when I went to do the provisioning.
やっぱり姉ちゃん教会の人じゃねえの？なんでこんなところに？
Yo, kid, keep your mouth shut. I'm just kidding. Well, I glanced at Orlok. He looked sharply at the young boy. I hurriedly tugged Orlok a few steps back and whispered into his ear. No, Orlok.
あなたの素性を知ってる人間を返せばあなたの所在を知られる可能性が上がる。
Even so, please don't. Orlok didn't say anything more. I turned around and headed back to the boy. I'm actually hiding myself. It'd be great if you didn't tell anyone you saw me here.
どうしよっかな。
Boy, I will slap the taste out your mouth. I said no, Orlok. I quickly pushed Orlok back again, seeing him put his hand into his coat. Oh, he's willing to clap kids, even though I just said I would slap the taste out your mouth. But, kid, don't try me right now.
なんちゃって。いいぜ。秘密にしてやっても。別に興味ねえしな。どうせ駆け落ちでもしたんだろ。シスターのくせに。
Well, sure, that's right. I'm not a sister, but I suppose I should just play along.
駆け落ち。駆け落ち。
Would you like to do that, honey? For some reason, Orlok kept mumbling the word he just heard. So, what are you doing here? Were you going someplace?
ああ、別に。腹減ったから何かねえかなと思って歩いてただけ。
Well, come on in. I'm cooking some stuff.
つっても、今日は稼げてねえし、食べ残しでも落ちてねえかなってさ。
I see. I'm going to prepare dinner shortly myself. Would you like to join us?
いいのかよ。
Yes. Yes. Consider it a friendly gesture. I recalled being worried about him, seeing how thin and frail he was. We weren't necessarily well fed ourselves, but I could share my food with him. I wanted to offer him a meal, but not because he found us, but because I wanted to help. I suddenly turned around and looked at Orlok. He's like, girl, don't be sharing no food with no riffraff. He was frowning as expected, but his frown disappeared as he saw me look at him. I'm sorry, Orlok, I just couldn't.
謝らなくていい。そういうところ、あなたらしいと思うから。
I understand being a busybody. Ooh, excuse me, got the hiccups. I understand being a busybody is a nuisance, especially with how things are now. Which is why I felt relieved knowing that Orlok took my decision favorably. After fetching some water, we returned to our home. I prepared a meal for Orlok and our sudden guest of honor.
すげえ。これ教会の炊き出しよりうまいんじゃねえの。
He was happily scarfing down the food I made. I'm happy you like it. It's nothing fancy though.
これなら毎日だって食べてえよ。
Well then, let's just say that the meal here is payment to keep you quiet.
口止め料？
You don't say a word that we're here. In turn, you come here when you're hungry. Is that a deal?
乗った。そいつはいいや。
How about it, Orlok?
いいと思う。あなたが決めたことだから。それに。
Orlok took the bread on the table and handed it to me.
食材だったら、俺が2人分でも3人分でも手に入れてくるから。だから、あなたもちゃんと食べて。
I was was surprised he noticed that I was splitting my share with the boy. Thank you, Orlok. I smiled and took the bread from his hand after hearing his confident words. The boy gave us his name, Luca. Luca visited us at our makeshift home randomly and constantly. Sure, girl, you done opened the floodgates. He came by in the morning and at night. He visited us practically every day. At first, Orlok kept his distance from him, but soon enough, they began talking to each other. Time passed. It was 3 days since Luca last visited. Uh-oh. Welcome, Luca. Orlok was about to call him Orca. Luca and Orlok. Orlok was getting worried, not seeing you here for a while. He gets his little title card too.
なんだよ。心配してたのか、オルロック。
そういうわけじゃない。
That is it.
実はちょっと風邪ひいてさ。
Uh-oh. Huh? Are you alright?
うん、もうすっかり治ったぜ。
Orlok stepped in between us.
彼女に移ると困る。あまり近寄るな。
Orlok.
なんだよ。リリーじゃなくてあんたにだけ移してやる。
Luca playfully tried to grab Orlok, but Orlok quickly sidestepped his lunge. I watched them both running around the place with a contented warmth in my heart.
最近どうも街が変な雰囲気でさ。
Luca began to talk during the meal.
ちょっと前に来た峡谷の人、なんだっけ？ロズなんとか、慰問だとかって話だけど、ずっといるよな。こんなマフィアだらけの街に来るなんて、偉い人なのに変わってるよ。
So Bishop Roseberg is still here in Berlone. Just thinking that he would be still... let me read that again. Just thinking that he could still be looking for us gripped my heart in a panic.
マフィアといえば、最近はなんか妙におとなしいんだよな。
Excuse me.
普段はもっと小競り合いとかあるのにさ、特にラオ州とか、あいつら乱暴だから。
Do the Laoshu fight often?
あ、姉ちゃんたちは知らねえのか。ストラノはベレーノに近いから、たまにラオ州のやつと揉めて殺されるやつがいるんだ。
That's not good. What for?
大人たちは大っぴらには言わないけど、ラオ州から薬を買ってる。だからラオ州に頭が上がらねえんだよ。
Drugs? I didn't know the Laoshu sold them. God, they're into all sorts of fuck shit.
最近はどう？ラオ州の動き。
動き？だからおとなしいんだって。びっくりするくらい何にも聞かねえんだよな。だから逆に不気味なんだよな。街全体が静かすぎるっていうかさ。
俺はストラノに知り合いはいないし、そういう情報を教えてもらえるのは助かる。
この辺りのことなら何でも聞いてくれよ。
Luca looked proud about what he knew, but when he spoke again, he sounded more serious.
俺は親がストラノの人間だから、生まれた時からここで暮らしてるんだ。正直 ストラノでの暮らしは厳しいよ。ここに暮らすやつは大人も子供もみんな自分のことでいっぱいいっぱいだ。余裕なんてありゃしねえよ。
Luca's words hit me hard. There were children his age back at church, but he chose to live here in Strano. I guess he has a reason to stay here. Luca didn't talk too much about himself, which is why we didn't ask much about him.
けどさ、あんたらはそういうここの大人たちとは違う感じがするんだ。
Luca gave an awkward smile. He must have seen the worried look on my face as I thought about how much he had been through. Time passed. After dinner, we chatted a while. Luca looked sleepy. As I washed the dishes, I extended an invitation to him. Luca, why don't you rest for a bit?
大丈夫。すぐ行くか。
Oh, oops. Oh, shit. Luca walked slowly with staggering steps. I had a feeling he was about to drop. Orlok, can you keep him company? He's going to fall asleep outside at this rate.
わかった。
I finished cleaning the dishes and turned around. Oh, Luca was snoring on Orlok's lap. He's asleep? Orlok quietly nodded so that he wouldn't wake Luca. He's sleeping like a baby. Orlok was looking at Luca's sleeping face with an expression of kindness and care. Even if it was for a brief moment, we enjoyed a moment together in peace. It was so calm in here, I almost forgot we were being hunted. After that day, Luca went missing. Oh no. Oh no. Damn it. I had this in the back of my mind, but I didn't want to say it. I'm like, he's probably dead. It had been a week since we last saw him. With the chill in the air, I could feel that winter was right around the corner. The abandoned home where we were staying had a draft that let the cold air in. Well, he might missing, quote unquote, but the mafia might have snatched him up and made them tell where we were, or he's dead. I picked up a loose plank and leaned it next to an opening to stop the cold air from coming in. I wonder if he caught another cold. I mumbled to myself absent-mindedly.
そうかもしれない。それか、他に行く場所を見つけたのかも。
Orlok replied to me, knowing who I was referring to. Perhaps he was thinking about him too. I suppose that may be it, but if he did find someplace else, he could have at least said goodbye to us. I was sad enough if that were the case, but a part of me was thinking something else. Maybe he was really ill and suffering out there somewhere. Or maybe he got into a fight and was unable to move now. My imagination was running wild. Orlok, I want to go and look for Luca. Lily, it's not the best plan of action. You're just gonna have to forget about him.
あまり出歩かない方がいい。
Right. But I can't just say, but I can't just stay still like this. Aren't you worried about Luca? He closed his eyes and thought. After a pause, he opened his eyes.
わかった。でも、俺も一緒に行く。
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Orlok. We set out to look for Luca. It was already late into the night. Damn. Strano wasn't very large, but it was dense with buildings close together. Looking for a single child here proved to be much more difficult than I thought.
もうかなり遅い。そろそろ戻ろう。
Just a little while longer. Liliana, get your ass back in that house. Orlok raised his brow, but he sighed and followed me from behind. I looked around the dark alleys in search of Luca. Suddenly, Orlok, over there! I saw a small figure lying on the ground along an alley near Strano's border. Luca! I ran to him and held him in my arms. He has a fever. Oh, well, at least you found him.
急ごう。
Please. I wiped Luca's sweat with a cold towel. I had him drink some water, but his fever wasn't dropping at all. He's still hot, and his pulse is weakening. Oh my God. Luca's heavy breathing grew shallower. Oh, kid, don't you die on me. Orlok quietly placed a damp towel on Luca's forehead.
こんなにルカが苦しんでるのに、どうして神は助けてくれないんだろう。
Orlok clenched his fist and spoke words of pain of sorrow and sorrow. Orlok. Luca was moaning. We quickly looked at his complexion. Luca, are you all right?
あれ、姉ちゃん、なんで？
Luca was looking at me as if he were in a daze, as if he was in a daze.
俺、
No.
死ぬのかな。
Oh my God. What?
死んだら神様のところに行ける？
Luca, stop it. You'll be fine. Trust me. You'll feel better soon. We'll get a doctor to see you and... Luca's weak hand took hold of my arm. His small hand was trying hard to hold me back. Luca?
俺は
Oh my lord.
悪いことたくさんしたから天国には行けないよな。
Luca's breathing seemed more pained. His face began to twist in fear.
じゃあ地獄に落ちるの？嫌だ。怖いよ。
Luca's voice was terrified. His pulse was weakening by the minute. I'm trying to think what... It's probably like in today's age, we have a preventative vaccine for it. A child at the church died from a fever. I was with that child until the very end. His image overlapped Luca's. It was happening again. No, even if a doctor came, it will be too late. Are you serious? I gently held the hand that was holding onto my arm.
大丈夫、ルカ。洗礼を受ければいい。そうすればちゃんと。
Baptism, a rite required to become a follower of the church. It is said to symbolize a new life granted as God's child cleansed of sins. Fun fact, I have been baptized when I was, it had to be like 9 or 10 years old, something like that. But yeah, I've been baptized.
神様のところに行けるから。
洗礼。
俺は教国の人間でちゃんと資格もある。洗礼を与えられる。だからルカがちゃんと天国に行けるように。
Orlok extended his right hand, but then he suddenly stopped. What is it? He looked hesitant.
俺は洗礼を与えられるのかな。
Because of like your killings and stuff.
俺の血で汚れた手で受けた洗礼じゃ。俺の洗礼じゃルカは天国に行けないかもしれない。
Orlok's right hand shook.
だって神はもう俺たちを見捨てたのかもしれないのに。
We'll keep going. Hearing Orlok, oh my gosh, shit. We have to do what we can. Your hands are clean. Huh. So we cannot take away from the fact that he has killed before. He killed working for the church in the name of God under a man of God, Roseburg, but we're not sure of his motives. If we say we have to do what we can, then I'm acknowledging that yes, you're not perfect, but we could still do something. If I say your hands are clean, I'm kind of being ignorant to his past. Blah, blah, blah. Let me actually save. I'll go with choice 1. We have to do what he can. Orlok, get a hold of yourself. We need to do whatever we can right now. You still have something you can do for Luca. So please.
そうだ。ルカのために俺は。
Orlok slowly raised his hand over Luca's forehead.
ルカ、俺が洗礼を与えるから。
Luca didn't respond. His eyes simply twitched a bit. Orlok dipped his hand in the water and touched Luca's forehead with a prayer.
大丈夫。ルカは天国に行けるから。
Y'all, I don't want to sound too sappy, but this really kind of hits close to home. And, you know, oh my gosh. I don't think I should have played this route so soon. But it's really hitting close to home with like how I've been raised and like how, you know, my family deals with religion, and then like kind of like what happened with the current events, especially like within like my extended family, you know. It really hurts to see like a young kid on the verge of passing, and then he's questioning if he's gonna go to heaven or not. It kind of is bringing some tears to my eyes, but let's push forward. Luca let out a weak smile. Then, Luca slowly closed his eyes. His face was sweet and gentle, just like when he was sleeping on Orlok's lap before. Luca? Luca looked like he was really just asleep, like he was having a wonderful dream. His hand was still warm in mine, only now he wasn't breathing anymore. Sorry, y'all.
こんなことに。
Orlok looked at Luca and muttered aloud, his voice strained.
こんなことに意味はあったのかな。
Luca was... I held back my tears. Luca was able to fall asleep with such peace because you baptized him. You did well, Orlok. Orlok gasped for air as he stood up and stumbled out of the room. For a moment, I wondered what I should do. I stood up and chased after him. Orlok was looking at the night sky. His wails resounded throughout the area.
助けたかった。助けてやりたかった。
Orlok! I couldn't leave Orlok alone like this, out here in the open. I embraced him from behind. Tears rolled from my eyes down to my cheeks.
何もできなかった。
Don't say that. The you did the most you could do. Unfortunately, we couldn't like intercede the illness. Like he was left too far out and we couldn't properly get him the treatment he needed. But my gosh, when someone, you know, is on death's door and they don't know if they're going to eternal damnation or eternal salvation, if you can ensure that that person goes to heaven, you've done everything and then some. And yeah, damn, man, this is really hitting hard.
神は何もしてくれなかった。どうして。
I held him as tightly as I could, as the voice of his grief cut through the air.
神なんていないんじゃないか。俺たちは天に見捨てられて。
That's not true. Just because, oh gosh, I went over this today too. Just because, you know, unfortunately a young child was called way before their time, called back home, you can't drop your faith like that. You have to, you know, remain steadfast in your faith and your beliefs and your prayers, and you have to have a word so that whatever faith that, you know, you do have, you build upon it. And then, you know, God sees that and he honors that. Luca may have been way, like I said before, Luca may have been way far gone. And, you know, instead of trying to remain here on earth, suffering, he's going home to be with the Lord. And he's absolved with any suffering. Because when it's deeper than this, especially coming from me, you know, being from a religious family, it's crazy. I didn't think I was gonna. I don't want to be too preachy, but that's just what I've been thinking.
信仰なんて何の役にも立たない。
Don't say that. This was the first time I had seen him express anger and frustration toward God. Back at the church, I witnessed countless births and countless deaths. I had seen my share of pain and sorrow through the people. When I was younger, I was also angry and upset. I tried to calm Orlok, choosing my words carefully. That's not true. God has not forsaken us. There is a God out there. I know it.
どうしてそんなことが言える？
What God decides doesn't always make sense to us. We can't see what he sees. God is helping us to live strong lives.
そんなの信じられない。ただの思い込みだ。
Or like that bishop has not been teaching you the word. If your resolve shakes that fast. Yes, you may be right, but it's what I believe from the bottom of my heart. I believe that I've been able to survive until now because of God's blessings. I don't remember who my parents are, but I was able to live happily at the church. I met you, Orlok. You saved me. That's why I'm still alive, even with the Mafia after us. Don't you think this is a blessing?
それは
Orlok, I'm telling you, man. The child is free from suffering. If you think about it like that. He was living this destitute life on the street. He refused to go to the church. And, you know, unfortunately he contracted this illness, but he could have been suffering. He could have been in, like, a fate worse than death, whatever. But as long as he atoned for his sins right before, he made it into heaven. I'm sure of it. God gave us the opportunity to come together. Luca was able to meet you, Orlok. I don't think that was a coincidence.
俺は何もできなかったのに
Again, I tell you, stop saying that. You did do something for him. You did the most. Yes, thank you, Liliana. No. You helped make Luca's departure a peaceful one. Tears filled my eyes again, just thinking about Luca's sweet and calm expression. Orlok, you saved Luca's soul. Yes, you did, Orlok, you did. God has his own plan. Perhaps we can't count on being saved by faith alone. But you did save Luca, and I think that's significant. Orlok quietly listened to me, then took a deep breath. After a long silence,
ありがとうリリー俺にとっての救いはきっとリリーだこの先何が起きたとしてもそれは絶対変わらない
Instead of replying with words, I embraced Orlok even stronger. Under the star-dusted sky, we sought salvation from each other. Ooh. Oh my God, y'all. Let's see where we are in time. 11. All right, y'all. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here. What? Just this segment alone, y'all. It kind of brought up some, you know, just some emotions in me that have been going on, and it's crazy, you know. You read these visual novels in hopes of getting away from all the madness, not having it conjure up the same feelings that put you in disarray in the first place. But yeah, I mean, this was this was still a very heartfelt moment. And yeah, y'all. Well, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you stopping on by. Y'all know my philosophy on this YouTube shit. View what you wanna, do what you wanna, and I'll see you in the next episode. So until then, my friends, take care, take it easy, and peace.